Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with the same module, that is the web application development, and the same chapter but the session number 3, that is the same session but with the new concept, that is how to use the coding part of the web research. So in the last class we have started with the session number 3, that is the web market research, that is used with the web market. So that is the session number 3, that is the web market research. So we have started with this session in the last class and we have discussed some topics. So let's start the session. So in the last class we have started with the session number 3, that is the web market research. In this we have studied about the introduction. So what is the introduction about the market research? So how to research the market, or how to make the researching on the market by using the web. That is how to use the market research on the basis of the web by the use of the internet. So that is how to research on the material, or how to research on the market via online, that is the web market research. That is a dynamic web application that is designed and implemented of a hypothetical market research on the web. So that is done by the web application that is designed and implemented of a hypothetical market research on the web. And you will find the visual web pages as illustrations, and at the end of the session you will find a link to the implemented session applicable or application example. Now, what is a market research? Whenever we search anything, whenever there is a link on a page that have an influence on the selection by the user, then the question arises in several connections. That is how the question arises. So one way to approach an answer to this question is to design a web experiment. That is how to design the web experiment. That is the answer to the question is to design a web experiment. And assume that a market research company is trying to measure the public preferences. So this is one of the example that is given for the market research, that is designed by the two competing product, that is either A or B. So the company designs a web form that has two radio buttons. So there are two radio buttons. Either the person can opt for the product A, or the person can opt for the product B. That is a option that is available, radio button that is used for the product A and B. And from experience, the market research knows that the ordering of A and B on the form may have an effect and the preferences may not persist. That is a market research that is used for the market, or that is used for the various product, that is either the product A and the B in this example. Hi Larry, shall we start the class? Okay, so in the last class you are present, right? So in the last class we have discussed about the market research, that is what are the various technology that is used in market research. You are present in the last class, yes. So we have studied about these two product level, that is how to product, or how to, we can say, the market these, or how to market these product, that is A and B, that is by giving the radio button. So there are two radio button that is giving in this one, and from experience the market researchers know that the ordering of A and B on the form may have an effect and that the preference may not persist. That means there are two parts, that is the product A and the product B. There are two radio button. The customer, or we can say the optional, can choose the option that is either the product A or either the product B. So there are two radio buttons. The customer or the end user only have to select the one option, that is either the product A or the product B, right? So there are two forms that is generated with this one is form A that contains the product A listed out, and then there is a product B that contains the product B listed out, and the script is designed for the random selection of the form to be displayed for each visitor. That means there is a random selection that is used with the form, that is used with the random selection. No names or the addresses are required for completing the forms. To participate in the lottery drawing, the participant must, or however, sends in a separate form known as a form 3 with their name and the address. So with their name and the address are used with the separate form, that is the form number 3. A condition for participation in the lottery is that the two forms with preferences were written. That means there are two forms that is used with the lottery, that is written with the form A and the form B, that contains the product A and the product B. And this is a figure that shows that how to use the outline method. So there is a client that requests for the services from the server, and server process the request that is sent by the client, then provide the services to the client. So there is a client server relationship between these. There is a client, that is, this is one arrow that is denoted with this one. There is a request, then form request, then there is a web server. That web server prepare the selection, that is preparing the selection tool, that is either form 1, form 2 and the form 3. And again it is going back to the web server, and the web server saves the responses from this one, and then there is a form cookie that is generated with this one. So this is the client server relationship that is maintained with this. Then how to implement this? By using the CFML, that is a code fusion markup languages. So there is a application.cfm that is generated with this one. So there is a application.cfm that is a notepad file. We can save the file of the notepad with the .cfm extension that is written in the .cfml, that is a code fusion markup language, just similar to the HTML that we have covered in the HTML. This is the coding part for using in the Linux or the Unix, that is application.cfm. So first of all, we have to give the name, that is the application name, that is a market research. So name of the application is a market research. Then this is a session management, that is the session is managed, yes. Then timeout, that is hash create time span, that is 0030, then hash. Then client cookie is also setting the yes. That means there is a cookie, that is a file that is maintained on the internet, that shows what we have browsed, what we have covered, that is everything is stored in the cookie file, and it is an internet file that is available on the internet. Then there is a cf set session path, that is see my applications market research. So this tag has contains, or this we can say the coding or scripting language contains 6 lines. One is the name of the file, that is contained in the comment part. Then there is a cf application name, that is what is the name of the application, that is a market research. Then there is a session management, yes, there is a session management. Then the session timeout, that is a create time span, that means it is created for half an hour, because we are giving the 0030, that means hours, minutes, seconds and weeks, that is a 0030, that means the 30 minutes are applicable, that is a half an hour is applicable for this time, and if the half an hour is left, that means there is no time span after this half an hour. Then there is a set client cookie, that is equals to yes, that means there is a client cookie that is available as a yes, that means the cookie is generated, that means there is an internet file that is generated on this one, that is a cookie, that is yes. Then cf set, then session path equals to see my applications market research, that is the path is given as this one, that is a my applications, then there is a market research. And this is the explanation of these 6 lines that is used with this one. And the application CFM has 2 tags in addition to the name comment tag, that contains 3 attributes. Then session management permit the use of session variable that we have covered, and there is a time span, this is days, hours, then minutes and seconds. This is the syntax, that is the days, hours, minutes, seconds. And use of the cookie requires that the client has a browser able to receive the cookies, and this or his browser is set to receiving the cookies. This technique is useful if the client must be identified over a time period longer than the session. So if there is a time period that is longer than the session that is covered in this one, so there is a time gap that is used by the client. So there is a time gap that is done by the session management. And this is our last line that shows how to use the maintained line, or how to use the cf set that is used with the variable, that is a cf set that is contained in the session variable that contains a path to a folder in which we have to store the data, that is a cf set. And we can use the index.cfm to prevent the unwanted browsing file that is used, that we can store in the index.cfm. So this is the next coding, that is the next line, or we can say the next coding part of the cfm, that is the index.cfm. Then there is a h2. No, this line, that is a create time span, we have to write in the coding part, that whenever we are writing the coding part, that is a timeout, that is available in the notepad. So we have to write as it is, like this one, hash create time span 0030. It is not written in the database, but we have to write in the HTML, or write in the notepad, and then save the file with the .cfml. So this is the index.cfm. Then there is a h2, then font color equals to red, then market research, then font, then h2 will be closed, that is the h2 will be used with this one. Then there is a p, that is a paragraph tag, that is the same, the p tag that is used for continuing the paragraph, or that is used for giving the paragraph, that is a p. So this is a market research that is used to investigate. So that means it is printed as it is, as we have studied about the p tag in the HTML also. Then again the p tag that is printed in the paragraph, that is the requirements are. Then there is a OL, that is the ordered list is available, or ordered list is created for this one, that is 1 2 3 4, that is the li. So there are the 3 listing, or there are 3 1 2 3 4 list is available. One contains a request complete and submit the questionnaire 1 today, then request complete and submit questionnaire 2 in a week, then request complete and submit questionnaire 3 after you have submitted the questionnaire 2. Then at last there is the 10th p tag, then 11th there is again the p tag that is printed as it is. So this is the output. The market research will be available in a dark red line, that is the h2 heading. Then this is the paragraph that is used with this one, then the requirements are this one, then this is again the paragraph tag, again this is the paragraph tag. Now again there is a random selection between the form 1 and the form 2 that is necessary for this one. So there is a template have passed a HTML file since it contains no CMF tag. So this is the we can say the HTML file. Now we are going to convert this CFMX file in the or this HTML file in the CFMX, right? So there is a random selection that is generated with this one. So there is a random selection between form and form 2 is necessary. So the template that is the index dot or prepare.cfm contains the following unnecessary script. So there is a script that is used with this one, that is the prepare.cfm, that is the cf set, then tam, then randomize second now, then cf set selected number, then rand range 1 2, then cf if now. This is the if condition that is used, that is if the selected number is equals to 1, then cf location url equals to form1 dot CFM, that is a selected number, or the if the selected number is equals to 1, so whatever the number we have selected that is equals to the 1, if then the CF location URL, then the location of the URL is the form1.cfm, then CF else, that is the CF location URL equals to form2.cfm. So if the number or the selected number is equals to the 1, then the going to the form1.cfm, otherwise that is else go to the form2.cfm, then the CF if. And each time a pseudo random algorithm is started, it needs a seed. That means it needs a seed or to generate the fruit or to generate the flower. That means it needs a branch or seed. If the seed is the same, the sequence of the random numbers will also be the same for all the applications. Randomize in line 2 is a mathematical CFMX function. So there is a CFMX function that is used, that is a randomized function that is generated with this one, that instructs the server to plant an initial seed that is based on the internal server clock. So this is the range that is used for the random range, that is a randomized function, that is the second function is used for the now function. Then there is a random range, that is the lowest and the highest in line 3, that generates a pseudo random algorithm integer in the range between the highest and the lowest parameter value, that is either 1 or 2. That means there is a range between 1 and 2, that is the lowest and the highest value. And the lines 4 to 8 represents an if else block for selecting the form to present for the visitor. That means if there is a form of their line that is used to present for the visitors, that is from the line to 4 form 8. What's your query, Larry? I ran some of these codes. Some code did not show anything. Those with set variable, it is because the code has not been linked to the database. With the set variable, which set variable you are talking about? You are talking about which set variable, Larry? Hello. You are talking about this set client cookies. Are you able to hear me, Larry? Hello. Hello. Are you able to hear me, Larry? Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Yes, Larry. Yes, yes, tell me, Larry. Yes, yes, sure. Mm, no, no, no. So you have used the notepad for writing the codes and there is an error. What type of error do you find in running the code, Larry? I'm not getting your voice clearly, so I think there is error in this one. Uh, I'm not getting your voice clear, Larry. Tell me, you are able to see my screen? So there is an error in this one. In this line, whatever the shaded line. No, 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 no. I'm talking about this line is showing the error. I'm just confirming with you, either this line will show the error, line number 4, that is session timeout, create time span. Okay, okay. What's the error? So the output is not coming. So output is not coming clearly, right, Larry? Okay, there's a blank on the screen. Okay, okay. I will check it out and confirm you with you. All right. So where were you? Or where were we? Now there that needs a seed for generating this one, that is a line 3 that generates a pseudo random integer in the range between the lowest and the higher frequency parameter values in either case, that is 1 and 2, and line 4 to 8 is an if else statement that is used with this one. So this is the output of this one, that is thank you for using this vagara that is used for this one. Then there is a please mark your reference by clicking a button that is choose or comparing the two products, that is A and B, that is the product A and the product B. Now this is the form number 1, that is except for the ordering of the two product and the value of the form type, which is a 1 in the form 1 and 2 in the form 2.cfm, and we need consider only the form 1.cfm. Then this is the form 1, that is a CFIF, that is a cold fusion if is used again, that if is defined cookie user ID is equals to 0. So if defined cooking user ID, or if defined cooking user ID, that is if it is equals to 0, then the CF cookie name, so what's the cookie name? That the CF cookie name, that is a user ID, value equals to now function, then express equals to or expire equals to 15. So that is a CF cookie name that is used with this one. Then there is a user ID, then there is a value, that is a now function is generated for this one, that expires 15. There is a CF cookie name, that is a cold fusion cookie name that is used with this one. There is a user ID, then there is a value, then there is a now function that expires for 15 minutes, that is expire for 15. Then there is a CF, so if define user ID that is equals to 0, so if the defined user ID that is equals to 0, then CF cookie name, that is user ID value equals to now function, then expire for the 15 minutes, or after 15 minutes, then in the H2 it is available in the blue color, that is the preferences for the product. Then thank you for using this page and expressing your opinion, complete and submit this form. So this is the query that is given for this one, that is the preferences for products, that is this is the given with this line, that is H2. So if this condition will be true, then the setting the cooking or the setting the cookie name as a user ID and value equals to now function that expires after the 15 minutes, right? So that is using with the p tag. So that thank you for using the visiting the page and expressing your opinion, complete and submit this form. If this is the first form, you submit and please request another form. Then again the next p, then there is a cf form action equals to save dot cfm, right? So that means it is available like this one, and comparing the two product A and B, so this is available like this one. Then there are two radio buttons that is generated, so that is a cf form, that means there are two radio buttons, so this is generated by this cf form, then action equals to save.cfm, just like we have did in the html, that is a cf form action equals to save.cfm, then input type equals to hidden. So what is a type that is given, that is a hidden, the name equals to form type, then value equals to 1, that means it is given as a hidden value, the name that is given as a form type, and whatever the value that is given as a 1. This is the syntax that is used for this one, that is type equals to hidden, the name equals to form type, then the value equals to 1. Then again this is given as a radio, that means the radio button is created, the name is given as a preferences, value is given as a B, then product A. Then input type radio, name is given as a preferences, value is given as a B, then product B. So this is available over here. There are two radio buttons, one is product A and one is product B, that is generated with these two lines. That is generated with these two lines. Then P input type equals to submit. then name equals to submit, then value equals to submit, P will be close. Again there is the submit button that is used for this one, that is the name equals to submit, value equals to submit, then CF form will be closed. So this is the form that is opened with this one, that is the action equals to save.cfm, then it is closed over here, that is the CF form. The form template starts with the CF if tag in line 2. So this is start in the line 2, that is CF tag. So this is the explanation of this code, that test for a variable that is known as the cookie.user.id that is defined. So it sets for the cookie, or it is, we can say, the check for the cookie, test for the variable that is defined as a cookie.user.id that is defined, and the function that is defined cookie.user.id returns 1 if true and 0 if false. It is defined, or it is given as a is defined cookie.user.id returns value 1 if it is giving as a value true, that is 1, and 0 if the value is false. The first time a client requests one of the two forms template, we note that the function must return a 0, while in the later request from the same client the function will return 1 because the request now includes a hidden cookie. So that includes a hidden cookie, that is a client 1 or the client 2 that is used with this one. And if the function returns 0, so if the function returns 1, that means everything is correct, everything is true, so it returns a 1 value. And if the function returns 0, the variable user ID is defined in line 3 by the CF cookie tag. So that is defined by the CF cookie tags, and the variable is assigned a new or unique value obtained by using the clock function. So that is obtained by using the clock function that is generated with this one. Now, if we also require that the cookie will expire in 15 days. So we also require that the cookie will expire in 15 days, and using the cookies, we are able to connect two or more responses from a client without requesting any further identification. So without requesting any other further clarification, so there is a CF form that is used with additional features, that has some additional features that compared with the HTML forms. That means these are the various HTML or CF forms file that is generated with this one, that is used to generate with the CF code. Now, after some informative text in the line 5, 6 and 7, the CF form tags follow, specifying the subsequent action by template, that is save.cfm. So that is available with the save.cfm. The two radio buttons are included in the form for the visitor to flag his or her product preferences. That means there are two radio buttons that is given in this one, that is used to complete the form that is available to give the preferences of the users. The form ends with the submit button, and one of the two radio buttons must be pressed. Note that we do not ask the visitor for his or her name for anonymity reason. That means there is no name of the user that is given due to the n number of reasons, and when the completed form is submitted, the template save.cfm is executed. That means now the save.cfm is executed. Line 2 tests if the file to which the data should be written have been established with the heading, and if not, it is established with the CF file tag, that is the action equals to action equals to write in line 3. That is the action is equals to write in line 3, that is given in this one, that is expire in this one, cookie is this one. This is value equals to submit, value equals to submit. Now it saves the return response identifier with the user ID, form type, and the preferences in a text table or text file, and then give the name as a text file as a response.txt. Right. So just wait for 5 minutes. I'm just coming within 2 minutes. So next is the line, that is the save.cfm, that is the next part. So that is used with the save.cfm, that is executed, and the line to text if the file is on the data should be written has been established with the heading, and if not, it is established by the CF file tag with the action equals to write in the line number 3. So there's a line number 3 that is available with this one, that is a CF cookie name, that is ID, then value equals to now, then expires, after the 15 minutes. That is used with this one, that is line number 3. Then it saves the return response identifier with the set cookie user ID, and then the form type and the preferences in a text file named the response.txt. And in the line number 5, the template makes use of the CF file tag that we have several actions and the attributes. And in this application, we use the action that is append, which require two attributes. There are two attributes in this one: the file in which the data from the or find the file or from the file should be saved, and the output, the variable values to be saved. That is the file and the output that is used with this one. That is the file and the output for making the preferences that is given as the preferences in the files, with the attribute action equals to write in the line number 3. Now next is the save.cfm, that is using the CF. Now you check the condition if, that is the CF if is defined response.txt equals to the 0, CF file action equals to write, then file response, that is the output, equals to this one. So this is the save.cfm. That so whenever we use the save.cfm, that is action equals to save.cfm. So there must be a definition of the save.cfm. In this there is a cf.if that is available in this one, that is if cf dot or cf if it design or if defined or is defined, that is the response.text. If the response.text is equals to the 0, then cf file action equals to write. So what is the main action? So if the response.text or txt that is used, that is equals to the 0, then cf file action equals to write. That means the action, what's the main action? That is a write in which file? That is a response.txt, and the output is a response text file. Then cf if, then the cf if will be used, that is a cold fusion if will be closed over here. So this is the starting of the cold fusion, this is the ending of the cold fusion, and this is talking about the action equals to write, response.write, about this one, that is action equals to write in this line number 3. That is for the save.cfm. Then there is a cf file action. What is the main action? That is append. Then file equals to session path response.txt. Then output equals to, what is the main output? That is a user ID, cookie user ID, form type preferences. So this is given as a cookie ID, or this is giving as a user ID, that is a cookie user ID. Then form type is a form type hash. Then preferences, that is a hash form preference hash. That is a cf file action that is given as in this one. Then the cf file will be closed. That is the cf file will be closed over here. That is the cf file will be closed. So this is the starting of the cf file. This is the ending of the cf file. Now this is the cf location URL. So what is the main location? That is the index.cfm. Now the last two building blocks of the market research application are a form requesting the email address, if participation in the lottery, a design, and a template for saving the addresses. So there is a template for saving the addresses that is defined with the URL, that is index.cfm. Then this is your email address that is defined in the blue line. So if you are eligible for this one, your name, email address, submit. So this is the coding for this one, that is a figure number form, that is a form number 3. Now this is the same that is given in the p tag, that is if you are eligible, sorry, that is given in this one. This is name. So where is this? If you are eligible for this one, this is not defined over here. This is using that is thank you for visiting the page and expressing your opinion. If you have completed and submitted 2 forms with the preference for you are eligible to participate in the lottery. So this is available over here. Then cf form action, that is equals to this one, that is save to.cfm. Then there are two, we can say, the text boxes that is available. How do we know? This is the text box, that is the type equals to text, then name equals to name, then required equals to yes, then the p tag, then email address, so your name, so this is your name, then there is a text box, then there is an email address, then there is a text box, then there is a submit button. So this is the button that is used, that is the value equals to submit. So this is the submit button. So these are the 3 parts that is used with this one, that is the your name, email address, and the submit button. Then CF form will be closed. So this is the starting of the CF form, and this is the closing of the CF form. And the cookie identification will also be attached to this form when returned, and when you can check that the visitor is eligible as a participant in the lottery, that is visitor is participant in the lottery, that is given as a participant in the lottery. So it is available for participation in the lottery, that is available or that is used with the submit button. Now the save.cfm takes care of saving the cookie user identification of the visitor. So it is taking about the user identification of the visitor, his or her name and address in the address.txt. As for the first text file, the template test for the existence of the file and establish the file if necessary. So if there is a any template that is available with this one, that is used to template the file, that is used for the address.txt. Then this is save2.cfm, then cf is defined address.txt equals to 0, that is a cf if, that is a cold fusion if is defined address.txt equals to 0, then cf file action equals to write, then file equals to address.txt, then output equals to address text file. So this is given as a cf if that defined or address.txt that is defined or that is equals to the 0, then cf file action that is equals to write, then file equals to address.txt, then output equals to address text file. That is a save2.cfm. That cf if will be closed. Then cf file, now what is the action? That is append is the action. Then what is the file name? That is a session path address.txt. Then what is the output? That is the user id, cookie user id identification. Then this is the email address. Then again the cf file will be closed over here. So this cf file will be closed over here for closing, that is whatever we covered that is closed over here. And then this is the location, that is the URL equals to index.cfm. And by sorting and merging saved responses in request.txt, address.txt, we can establish a list of the names and addresses for all the visitors that have returned two forms with the preferences and the form with their email addresses. And lottery can be easily be carried out. And for market research analysis, the file response.txt will give two main classes of the data. First, all the responses can be used to analyze the overall performance for the product A and B. That is, two main classes are used. Second, all the responses sorted by the form 1 can be able to analyze the order of the ordering, and the third response is used to investigation the this one. Now the template, that is the report.cfm, is an unedited display of the response.txt file. It can be easily be copied and processed by the Excel. That means it can be easily processed by the Excel or easily copied and processed by the Excel, that is MS Excel. Now this is report.cfm, that is cf file action equals to read, variable equals to report, file equals to this one. That means action equals to read, so action is reading out, then what is the variable name? That is a report. Then what is the file name? This is the file name. Then this is the output, that is a report will be generated for this one. That is the report.cfm. Now these are the questions for this one. So we are winding up about the session number 3, that is how to merge with the table, how to create the form, how to create the labels, that is how to create the text boxes, how to create the radio buttons, how to create the button, that is the submit button, like we have used in the HTML. The difference is that there is a cf if will be used, that is a call fusion if, that is a cf and, that is a cf if, cf and, that is used with the cf files. Right, that is stored in the CF or that is used with the CFML, that is the cold fusion markup languages. And at last we have studied about the report.cfm, that is easily be carried out or copied out within the Excel, and it can be easily be processed by the Excel. Right, now this session is over. Let's take a break right now, then move to the assignment part. Today I'm going to give you a new assignment, that is for the office solution development, that we have covered the module in the last module we have covered. So let's take a break, then move to the next part, that is the assignment part. So this session number 4 we will start by tomorrow's class. Yes, listen carefully. Tomorrow there is no class. I'm on leave tomorrow due to some function at my home, so there's no class tomorrow. Now the session number 4 will be carried out in the day after tomorrow class, that is on the Thursday's class. But after the break we'll be carrying out our assignment part. Okay, so let's take a break. So this is the next assignment, that is the assignment that is used for this one. This is the assignment that is a unit number 22 assignment that I have already sent to you via the email. That is a unit number 22, that is office solution development. This is the name. You have to fill this front sheet exactly the same. You have to fill your name, that is the student name. You have to give the evidence along with the page number over here. You have to put your sign, put your date over here. Then this is the front page that is given as a date issued to, this is today's date, and completion date is 25th January 2016. And these are the various outcomes, that is how you get the M1, M2, M3. This is the assignment brief. This is the main purpose of the assignment, why we are using the assignment. Then this is the introduction to the assignment, that is the introduction to the assignment part. That is the Flying Fishes is a successful swimming center that covers over the 500 members. So this is, we can say, the introduction that is used with this one. That is the main purpose of the assignment. This is the introduction of the assignment. That is the Flying Fishes, that is the main report, and we can also use the assignment part for this report, that is the Flying Fishes. And the admin staff at the swimming center are very busy, so they process store the data that is used with this one. Now there are various tasks that is used with this one, that is application processes and business processes, that is application software and the business processes. So recommend appropriate type of application software for each of the business processes that you desired or that you describe above, and explain the reason, that is why you are using this one, why you are using the material for making the presentations. That is, recommend the appropriate types of the application software for each type of business processes described above, and explain the reasons of your choices. They would like you to present this information in a formal report, that is used to present the information in a formal report. So that is, add to your report an explanation as to why the application software have been suggested to you to both as separate programs. This is the task number 1. You have to write the application software and the business processes for this one. Then describe the advantages and the disadvantages of commercial and bespoke application software. So what is the main advantages and disadvantages, why we are using the application software, what is the main use of the application software, that is defined in this one. Then next is a task number 2, that is end user development. Explain why the members are used, or explain why the members are giving attention, or why the members are giving of the admin staff should be encouraged to develop various features and the functions of the software process. That is, what is the main need for developing the software needs that is designed for this one. So what is the main advantage and the features and the functions of application software. Add your explanation at this report, that is, add to your explanation for this report. Identify the problem that end user development could lead to that should be avoided, and include in this information in your report. Then include in your report a description of each of the stages of the software development that the admin staff will be required to work through as a part of the software development. That is, what is the main part of the software development, that is the task number 2. Then task number 3 is the advanced features and the functions of the Microsoft Excel. At present, member names, membership identification, and date of joining are stored on a spreadsheet. Produce an interactive user form to allow these details to be entered easily. Above interactive form and save it in the spreadsheet file. So you have to create one form and save it in the Excel or spreadsheet file. Then after each member detail entered via interactive form, the following message should be displayed. Like this one, the person can be confirmed as a member of the Flying Machines Center. Now adapt the macro within the Excel that is used for the task number 3A to delete or deliver the message or display the message after entering the details. Now save your file with this one, that is the OSD assessment, your name, then student number. Then task number 1 that is given over here, then task number 2 that is given over here, then task number 3 that is given over here. That is LO1, LO2, LO3, that is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. This is evidence checklist, that is the summary of the evidence that is required by the student. So these are the evidences that is prepared for this one, that is required for this one. Okay, Larry, I will check this course. This is the achievement summary that is prepared for this one. So that is prepared for this one, that is unit number 22, that is office solution development. That is required for this one. Understand how the application will work. So this is the evidences that is required for this one. This is at last the feedback page. So this assignment you have to submit till 25th of January, that is till 25th of January, that is 25th January 2016, and the starting date, that the date issued is the 12th January 2016. Okay, so that's all for today's session. If there is any doubts, you can ask the doubts from me. And what about Larry, your clarification? I will confirm your clarification latest by day after tomorrow, that is in the next class. Remember, there will be no class tomorrow. For tomorrow, that is, there is no class. I have to go somewhere due to inconvenience of my availability, so I'm not able to take the class. So there's no class for tomorrow. Now the class will be directly on the